Hello guys, welcome back. Today was an angry day. It really was. I was so pissed off about everything. I was pissed off about being a woman. I was pissed off at my allergies. I was pissed off at how badly those friends treated me. I was pissed off at being pagan. I was pissed off at everything today. Um, and Loki finally piped up. Loki will let me work on something until he sees that I'm not, as he puts it, rather bright. And then he pointed out the obvious. He said they were shunning you like the Amish do. They kept dangling all these trips and everything in front of you, but they never came out and said it. It was kind of like they never said, oh, hey, if you would be going to church, you could go to this with us. It never came out and said it like that. They would kind of dangle these trips and these church socials and everything else and the quilting club and all this other fun stuff they were doing. And I'm actually introvert. But I will be with you if you will just let me be quiet. If you will let me sit there and be quiet, I can go to a party or whatever, I'm fine. And introverts like to every so often be included too. We really do. Um, and she had to be pretty dense to know that I didn't want to include it, like, I know it sounds silly to you guys, but in quilting and stuff like that. I was like, well, I couldn't quilt, but I would love to watch people quilt, and I love to watch these quilting shows. So it was kind of like either she's obtuse or she just kept dangling stuff. And Loki's like, she was dangling stuff in front of you. And he said, she wouldn't have been happy with you just going to that one church, because when we went to church for Christmas, we really thought last year stuff would change. She goes to 3 churches, and that probably wouldn't have been enough because, I was born Roman Catholic. So he said, she was being very mean to you. And he said, I don't want you forgetting all the time you walked by in like lightning storms. Yes, lightning storms. And they have seen you like 5 minutes before the storm starts. And they know where you are and they haven't come and given you a ride. He goes, those people aren't your friends. He goes, I don't care that you have a clock they gave you. You like, remember I got the clock last year, the one that plays all the Christmas stuff? He said, I don't care if once or twice a year they remember you. That's not friendship, that's charity. A charity would remember you that often. And, he is getting really mad, fed up, and he goes, the problem with you is you are letting them make you feel like the bad guy because you're trying to stand up and demand equal rights. He said, they're very good at playing the victim, and he's getting worked up. And the fox, when the fox gets worked up, the fox is going to screech. So he was screeching, and rightfully so, because he says, you're so fucking tired half the time because you're all stressed out and you can't figure out why, because you don't like to be fighting with people. You never do. You're like the ultimate pack omega. You want everybody to get along and have fun times, and that's not how life works. And Odin's just kind of standing there looking at Loki like, wow, you're really going off. Are you okay? Do you need time out? So when Odin is looking at you like you're really going for it. Yeah, 1 second, let me get some coffee, guys. I'm gonna cough. Oh dear Lord, these allergies. Then I misplaced my coffee cup. I'm doing great today. So it's just been a thing of Loki finally popped off. He let me keep wandering around until he saw. And I've been complaining to Odin, and Odin's been long suffering, but now it makes sense why Odin picked out all these cute, colorful wolves, because Odin knew it would finally catch up with me, and I really have a problem, and the gods have pointed it out. They said, you can be dealing with a toxic person, because remember the family I grew up with. And they said, you can be dealing with them and know they're being toxic and know they're being bad to you, and you just keep believing, no, they can't possibly be a bad person. And he's like, you could be getting stabbed. You don't mean it. He said, you're so fucking naive. I can't stand it sometimes. So they're both a little frustrated, but they're both like, well, that's why the gods get away with murder with me, because, no matter what they do, I never get rid of pagan gods because I'll forgive them. And it's just my nature. It's how I grew up, and I'm not going to change. And, for me, I think everybody has a different experience with the gods. And for me, it's not like these Norse gods are saying you can't go to church. If I could go to church and it helped me and I wasn't consumed by guilt and fear and shame and threatened with hellfire and sin and all that other stuff, they really wouldn't care. Odin's main concern is, are you going to be threatened with hellfire? Yeah. Are you going to be threatened with sin? Yeah. Are you going to be told what to do and what to think? Yeah. What actually triggered a lot of this was last night, I don't know why, I decided I'd watch a C.S. Lewis thing because I used to like to read his books when I was growing up Catholic. And it started to talk about how he went from an atheist to a Christian. And as they started talking about evil, a wolf came on the screen, because of course it did. And the wolf was carrying, at first I thought it was a pup, but it was like the remains of a gopher or something. It was like half of one. There was no gore or anything, but you could tell it was, a mother or a pack member taking food back to the babies because, they gotta raise the pups. But it was shown as pure evil. And it's just been a lot of stuff lately, like, I was watching a thing on wolves, and they showed like how wolves have been demonized since biblical times. And then they showed wolves today in Jerusalem. And there were these two young pups, and they're obviously well-fed wolves, so they actually meant the sheep no harm. But for some reason there was no shepherd, there was no sheepdog, there was no llama, there was nothing to protect these sheep. So the two young juvenile wolves were making a game of herding the sheep back and forth and back and forth, and it was great fun. And I'm like, why be mad at the wolf if you're not there to protect the sheep, and then the sheep gets eaten because the wolf gets too excited? That's clearly not the wolf's fault any more than it would be if a human walked up and stole sheep, or a dog ate it, or anything else happened to it. If you're not out there with your animals, you can't be mad at Mother Nature. So it was something else. But yeah, it was very much angry day. I'm just so angry at myself because I'm like dizzy from my allergies, and I'm tired, and I'm run down. But there's no use being angry about it, so I just gotta take it easy and get some rest, and hopefully in the next couple days the allergies will calm down and I won't feel like I'm riding a tilt-a-wheel, and I will have a little more energy. And I will see you guys later. Bye bye.